China's exports just jumped by over 100 billion. Headlines are calling it a comeback, but I don't think so. Let's dig a little deeper. It looks more like a panic. This isn't recovery. It's a desperate flood of goods before the tariffs fully close in. Welcome back to America's Geopolitics. If you're done with the globalist bullshit and ready for straight talk, subscribe now. Today, we're unpacking the truth behind China's largest export surge and why what looks like a win for Beijing may actually be the beginning of a breakdown. In June, China posted a massive export spike, upward of 100 billion in value over last quarter alone. On paper, that's great news for Beijing. Shipping containers are full, factory output is up, ports are busy. But the timing is a little suspicious. This isn't organic growth, it's a pre-tariff dump. Companies are rushing to clear inventory, flood Western markets, and get ahead of what's coming. That's right, think super cheap products. Trump's 30% tariffs, European countermeasures, global supply chain reshuffling. This isn't confidence, it's evacuation. Check it out, Beijing knows what's coming. Trump has already imposed tariffs on key Chinese tech, steel, autos, and solar. Yeah, that's right, no Chinese cars getting in. Threatened retaliation for China's ties to Russia and Iran, and blocked high-end chip exports entirely. And on top of that, China's domestic economy is barely breathing. Yeah, youth unemployment's still sky high. Local government debt is out of fucking control. The housing sector is still in crisis. You have about 300% more houses than you have people. Consumer confidence is collapsing. So this export surge, it's not a turning point. It's a last-ditch effort to generate foreign cash before the next round of walls go up. Here's the twist. China isn't just dumping to the US. It's flooding everywhere. Southeast Asia, Europe while it can, and even Latin America. Yeah, they're the #1 car seller in Mexico and below. Why? Because China knows the American door is about to slam shut. So it's trying to overwhelm every available market, even if it means losing money. Yeah, that's right. They're selling stuff below cost to take over market access. Reports suggest many of these exports are being shipped at cost or below, just to keep the factory lines moving and avoid mass layoffs. This isn't strength, it's survival, hopefully. In the short term, you might see cheaper goods at Walmart, Amazon, and Target. But long term, this puts pressure on US industries. American manufacturers, especially in electronics, machinery, consumer goods, they can't compete with state-subsidized Chinese cheap manufacturing junk. So this forces Washington let US industry die or raise tariffs and cut China out of the market. Guess which one Trump's going to choose? Yeah, I think we already knew that one. Now here's what's terrifying for Beijing. Once the US locks out Chinese goods, and once the West reshuffles its supply chains, the business doesn't come back. And right now, that's already happening. American companies are nearshoring to Mexico, which we talked about in the last video. Europe is pressuring firms to onshore or diversify. Southeast Asia is becoming the new factory floor. And China's advantage, speed and scale. But if that scale isn't profitable, and if the speed runs into trade barriers, that model breaks. The danger isn't a failed quarter, it's structural collapse, and China's in a tough spot right now. So what comes next? More tariffs from the US and EU, more desperation pricing from China, and more pressure on global companies to declare loyalty. Yeah, it's time to choose. This is no longer about trade, it's about alignment. And China, it's aligned with Russia, Iran, and BRICS, not America. It's easy. Just say it, let's move on. That choice is now coming with a price tag. The US is building a new trade wall, and China's trying to get the last truck through it. Now this surge isn't a comeback. It's really a warning. When you flood the market out of fear and below cost, it means the model is running out of time. Trump's tariffs are working, now the world is racing to adjust. Hey, subscribe to America's Geopolitics for daily updates. This is Frank, see you tomorrow.